go. And we are back for another one. Underground World News Live. Here on this 8/25/25. Still breathing. Here on planet Earth. Checking in with you. We've got a lot going on. And if you guys got any beautiful shots like the one there on the screen that I can open the show with, please let me know. Send them to dabu7@yahoo.com. That looks to be the email we're going to stick with. Bond Score, thank you for gifting that membership. Thank you for the feedback, everybody out there. Appreciate it to the fullest. As always, MC, Hoodie, Mayhem, Jenny, Barb, Miss Brady's Ghost, Academy, Walking with God, Psalms. Good to see everybody. We're just at Chuck Norris Gun Club. What's up? Raymond Knight, Lisa. It's good to see everybody. Hope all is well. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And even if you've been subbed, think you've been subbed. I'm telling you, man, go down, check it again. Check the subscribe button. You might be surprised. Open it up. There's notification boxes in there you got to have checked off and all that. You're probably going to be surprised on what's checked off and what's not. Seems to be a major issue. A lot of people just don't know, don't understand. They think that they hit subscribe one time and they're good to go forever, and you should be. But Not around here. Not when you're dealing with someone like me. Bella, much love. I want to thank everyone that shares the stream. You can at me like Bella did there in the chat to get my attention. And I want to thank anyone that supports the channel. Any PayPals, coffees, super chats, anything like that. Always appreciated to the fullest. And we're going to get this thing right off the gate. Right out the gate. We're going to get this going here with some interesting stuff. I'm going to dive right in. And this has to do with the California fires that took place. And we talked about this from many different angles. The doery, the weaponry, just the fact of everything, that all the details we've discussed with a lot of these fires. Palisades, Malibu, a lot of those areas that got hit by this firestorm that was just crazy. It wiped out like a targeted area, in which these areas have seen a lot of weirdness ever since. Well, now, here comes the fire cell, and a Chinese-based company is snapping up this land. Now, guys, you need to pay attention. Something is going on. I tell you, we've been sold out, but it's deeper than that. I don't even know if I could say words to shake people awake, to get them to understand where we're sitting in all this. We've been sold out bad. The outgoing FBI agent, Christopher Wray, said the Chinese were embedded in every aspect of our infrastructure. Telecommunications, the power, the water. They've hacked and attacked all these hospitals left and right. They've got property right up to the fence line of our military bases, which should be illegal, right? And you would think that if it wasn't, they found out about it, that they would do something about it quickly, right? Well, no. They're letting Chinese-based companies buy up land. Trump now saying, yeah, I'm starting to become good friends with Xi Jinping. I'm just going to take his word for it that he's going to stop the fentanyl flowing in here. Like, I can't stand it no more. If you guys want to sit there and be complicit in all this, you do it, because we're answering to a most high above. And when you have to answer to why you went along with all these criminal things, it's going to be because everyone was scared. They didn't have the heart to make the stand. You knew these days were coming. Persecution of believers and everything else. And we're there, if you ask me. Anyhow, this is a setup. By and large, full scale. Also, 1 million Chinese slipped in across the border during this whole thing. At least 1 million Chinese. It's just an extra million. Just, what are they doing? I'd say where are they at, but I have a pretty good guess. They're on the property that we know that they own, large scale. Again, right next to military bases. Almost like, I don't know, like they're working together. So the Chinese are coming in and snapping up this land. Now, you just remember what I said about the Chinese everywhere. Christopher Wray warning us, the biggest threat, bringing in the fentanyl, everything. Here on this world stage, by and large, they are. Even militarily, if there's someone seeking to topple the United States and their power and to replace them, it's China. Through and through. Okay? So, what does the Gentile Messiah do? Well, listen here.
President Xi would like me to come to China. It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and the different things. And it's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China. I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students, or we're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students. It's very important. But we're going to get along with China.
What? You're about to let 600,000 come in when we've been busting them left and right, trying to smuggle in stuff to our universities and everything else. Dude, this dude's living in an alternate universe. Or no, he just wants you, like everything else, he just wants you to accept it. Like, accept what he's saying about China, which is garbage. Like, what he wants you to accept about Epstein, which is garbage. Remember, if you think that pedos are bad, like, he has a problem with you, which is wrong. Like, I got a problem with you if you want to continue down this path of protecting the pedo protector in chief, Trump himself, which is guilty as sin. He's as dirtbag as it gets. He's as mafia as it gets. And if you don't like that, then you just ain't awake. You're still stuck in a left-right paradigm. If you're someone over there chirping and barking, oh, you must have voted for Kamala or Biden. Nope. The farthest thing from it. We're on a whole different level, partner. And you need to catch up. You're far behind. If you're still over here thinking that this dude is your savior, you've got a long way to go. The better pick than the other, obvious. But what you failed to see is that it was a trap. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Another IQ test. Okay? So, instead of running the Chinese off of our land and our military bases, this mongrel is letting in 600,000 more. These days I report on stuff and I truly just don't think people care. Like, nobody's willing to do nothing. They don't care that there's pedos in charge and all this other stuff, and they don't care nothing. They just don't. It's sad and it's pathetic. It's how this country dies. Everybody's sitting there watching, and in a majority of the pack running around following Trump, their Gentile Messiah is what they've dubbed him here, right? Because it's the easy way out. I'm going to tell you all why this country is ultimately screwed and done for forever. We've been sold out. It's because of guys like Trump doing these things and the whole pack going along with it. You know, the patriots everyone's waiting for. I don't know, come walking out the shadows, finally show up like the true cavalry has arrived to save the day. Well, MAGA sucked them up, by and large. And I see them every day. They'll show up just like one showed up today. I put out exactly what I just told you and showed you. And their small mind is all. I'm not trying to rip on them. Truly, I'm not. I'm truly telling you what is wrong with them. Their small mind can't see the bigger picture. And it's to their detriment and going to be to their demise in the end. Because if they can't see these easy to see things right now, they're going to be led all the way to the slaughter on all of this. And again, if you have no line in the sand and you're just throwing all your blind faith behind someone that's dangerous, and then next thing you know, you find yourself protecting a pedo, like, hey, that's your choice. You want to stand with Trump from here after what he's showing, the most tyrannical stuff ever. I ain't even got into the rest of it. That's just the pedo part. But a very important part. You just get out of my way, get out of my face, just get out of my life. Like, you clowns, especially some of you who took the oath to serve and protect this place against threats domestic. And you know what this is. You know what this is. Makes you think. I wonder. I didn't take an oath. I didn't join the military. I wasn't trained to kill. You know? Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have joined it to figure out something. I don't know. I had more military trained knowledge, and I got and trained people. I can't even find a good vet here that's wanting to train patriots. Everyone's scared. Yet the Muslims are in the mountains of Virginia training left and right. They ain't scared to do it. Like, no one's doing nothing here. You have No defense. Your real last line of defense is your National Guard, and they're snatching them up and taking them from states and doing what they want with them. That's crazy. That's your last line of defense inside of a state, and the feds just coming in. Oh, just give them to me, so we can go in and we can use them to do whatever. That's what's happening. Most people are sitting around looking like a deer in headlights. And once some people do get it figured out, they're afraid to say anything off the Trump side because they don't want the whole MAGA movement turning on them. That's where we're at with this. That's where we're at with this. It's the truth. Okay. So this is the preface here of the show. Get it going. A little warm up. All right. So what do we got here? Much love. Much love, everybody out there. Yeah, raise your own animals. It'd be nice. Yeah, and yeah, there was a recall on shrimp last stream. If you look it up. All right. Ice cream, Walmart's in 16 states also here recalled. So yeah, shrimp last time. Ice cream this time. Bluebell, popular. Voluntary recall. Half-gallon cartons due to undeclared nuts. So anyone has a nut allergy, almond, walnut, pecan. That's the recall. I gotta say, that sucks. But at least it's not like wood chips and glass and all the other horrible things we found in products here recently. Well, look at this. I think this says a lot. This is a list of the best to worst countries for a work-life balance. Raw free slaves, as I put it, on this planet. Worked to pay your taxes, to the beast, who in turn uses that money for some horrific things. But Finland is at the top of the list, followed by Norway, the Netherlands, then Estonia, Luxembourg, Spain, Sweden, Iceland, Slovakia, Denmark. Those are all said to be the best places on the planet to live and work. With a handful of different metrics determining this. But at the very last place, 39 of 39 sits the United States of America. Michelle Obama have undying nuts. Undeclared nuts, you mean it rips? Oh, damn, what? Oh, this is a good one. Perfect timing. Wish I had sound effects to play for that, but that was a good one. I don't know. You might want to slide up Big Mike's comments and ask. That's just crazy. Oh, it was a good one. Okay. So United States sucks at this point. To work and live, we're in last place. That's ridiculous. Land of the free, it's gonna take a second to get that laugh all the way out, man. Oh man, it's your fault, Sparrow. So I tell you all the time, the tariff thing is bad news. For the simple fact that we are the ones that have to pay for it. And a lot of people just don't get it. I can tell them these things, like we're paying for this. They still turn around and go back to what they're doing. They don't get it. I don't know what is going on here. The best I can equate it to is like a massive magic spell. Like information not sticking to people's head, like the moon is void of course or something. They're finding out the hard way. As this says, they call it sneakflation. Well, it's not sneakflation. Like, this has been happening since Jump Street, since day one. If you have a brain and you can accept what's going on, they're just now saying, "Oh, it's sneaking up on us. Trump's tariffs are gradually raising the cost for American consumers." Well, that dude, this has been happening. Like, it's just now coming to a head to where people are pissed and can't even get above water. I don't know how many videos I see now of people crying and breaking down because groceries are through the roof. Like, this is real deal crisis mode, man. And they've created this storm. All while trying to hold up this illusion that everything's fine. It's not at all. People are hurting. I'm hearing it all across the board, all over the place. And it's just ramping up, 20% 1 month, then 25% the next month. All that stuff adds up quick within a 6-month window. And then prices end up double, tripled. And there's no stop. Have you seen or paid attention to the price of beef and the records that it's smashing? Just over and over and over again. My remedy? Split a cow with family and friends. So we did. Buy a freezer, stuff it. It's going to save you in the long haul. Plus, it's going to come from hopefully a trusted source. It's going to be the best route to go from here. Might want to just get with a couple people, talk about it over the holidays or whenever, and split it. And just do it. Stuff your freezers, split it all up. It's worth it in the end. And you know where it's coming from. And you skip the chance of them poisoning your food or just like, you don't even know what kind of meat they're serving you. Like anywhere. Or even if you do trust it, you're paying record prices. It's only going to continue because our national herd is at a low. And dude, that's just one aspect of it. So many things through the roof. I seen a video yesterday of a lady that got just a drink and like a fry. It was like $9, and she was like, "What?" And trying to wrap her head around it. Like, it's like, yo, I don't even know where she was at. I don't think it was like California, like the highest price place, but what seems to be most time. And thank you, Meat Puppet, for the coffee. Best way to support the channel. I appreciate it more than you know. Think it to the fullest. But people are hurting, and goods that they're used to buying out there, they're not realizing that it's an imported good. That it's not made locally. It's not made even in the United States. That it has to be brought in from somewhere else. And they're finding out the hard way again in the end that they're paying for the tariff. When $10 more is tacked on to this item that was 50 and now it's 60. They're like, what? And most people are just been eating this. Just been eating it because they need the item. They need the product. But I'm telling you, come to crescendo here, man. Like, check this out. This is a lot. Somebody said earlier, Dabu. Oh, hold on. I missed something here. What do we got? Hopkinson. Light up the flag for all victims. Well, yeah, I've got several different stories we're going to touch on here. You can obviously see in the middle there, White House flag burn. There's some stuff that went down with that. Yeah, I'm going to get to all that. Thank you again for the super chat. But this one here, like, jumps out at me. I report on all types of stuff. Home sales, the whole economy, anything and everything, trying to watch everything. This one says off-grid living is the brand new real estate trend as applications for rural mortgages are skyrocketing. It's almost a shocker. Like, it's just the idea of living off-grid. Once the domain of hippies and doomsday preppers has been steadily winning over a broader range of home buyers, from remote working young professionals to families pursuing a back-to-basics lifestyle. It says, enter the modern-day homesteader. I guess you're listening to one. This is largely, it says here, and this all varies. There's all kinds of different variables about being off grid. But this kind of rustic living typically involves producing at least some of your own food, growing, having chickens, having farm animals, generating your own energy by solar, wind, even water, and even collecting your own water, cleaning it, doing all those things, being off the grid, disconnected. The biggest plus is you're disconnected from those things that they can locally tap into to poison you. That I know they've been poisoning people with for years. We know this for a fact. Fluoride is just one thing that got so bad. It got so bad that they had to literally across the board start removing it out of the water supply in all kinds of places because it was pretty obvious it shouldn't be in there. And then when you really sit there and ask yourself, like, well, then why was it in there and allowed to be in there for so long? There's a straight up honest truth to it. It calcifies the pineal in your brain. The pineal gland is the seat of the soul. It is one of the most vital. It is a mind's eye. It has its own lens. If anybody cares out there, so nobody cares about nothing. Anyhow, most people will never make their way out of here because they'll stay in this low-level dwelling, recycled energy crap hole because they don't seek their way out. Hopefully, out of all this news and all this, at least I can help at least someone get out of here. Jesus said, follow me. And he left all kinds of clues like breadcrumbs. And he left them in allegories. He left them hidden. I know all kinds of secret stuff and other stuff, but told me not to cast my pearls amongst swine one too many times. So if you seek it, you will find. I'll tell you that. But those that want to survive what's coming, if you want water and you want these things, you'll make moves because the beast is not going to allow you access to none of this when this next series of events goes down. So let me put it to you like this. I see us walking into a huge trap right now. A massive trap. This trap is being set up with everything that you see going on around us right now. And I feel as soon as they put lockdowns into motion, every single bit of what you see with strike teams, ICE teams rounding people up, every bit of this infrastructure they're setting up around you, camps at the border, all this other stuff. If a real deadly disease breaks loose, where bodies drop, and I fear it's coming. You don't beta test something for years for nothing. It's going to come. When that happens, every single one of these strike teams and ICE teams that everyone was cheering on to go do this and that, they will become your worst nightmare. That's all I can see. That's all I can see. It's the last thing you ever remember me telling you. You remember that. You remember all these strike teams would be used against the purebloods. This will be the true test. And I'm telling you ahead of time. Because everyone's so fucking blinded and ignorant. And thinks it's over. It ain't even begun. Who wants to hear that? Who wants to go enjoy life? Go enjoy it. Knock off them bucket list things while you can, because one day soon, it all changes. And you know it. Anyone has a brain that looks back and realizes they did the whole world for years. And it was a beta test. It wasn't the real thing. Then you too should know it's coming. I don't want it to come because I feel my life ends when this happens. Or it's at least life as I know it ends. And we all die, but you'll never know, I guess. We'll never know about any of it when it goes down like this. Remember how quick it went down, the hysteria? And it was all fake. There weren't bodies stacked up at the store or in your neighbor's yard or incinerator trucks going down the street burning people. Like it never happened. But it's going to. I've been shown it by God. I spent the past 5 years of my life getting ready for it. What people sit there and keep on pushing. You just remember how serious I took this. And I warned you. Because everybody's back to life. Back to pushing, back to doing, and all this stuff. And it's going to forget everything we just went through. The stupidest thing you could ever do. But we're dealing with a bunch of idiots. And I'm convinced at this point. It's why it's written in your Bible. He prepared a place in the wilderness. Okay? For when all this tribulation goes down. So this comes down to those who talk a bunch of crap and those who really believe. And when this all happens, you remember. I warned you so many times. That's all I could do. I could do nothing else. And people live cush. They live plush. I could have never made a move. I could have stayed. I could have done anything everybody else did. Right? We're going to have my family look at me and be like, you knew all this? Like all this, we went through all this and like you didn't even prepare? Like you don't have a plan? They already know. I've laid it all down. What have you done for yours? You know what's coming, and they're all running around like zombies, blind to it. You are conscious. You've been given a warning. I'm telling you. I've told you. So it's done. Right. Crazy. This message you think would reach millions, but 1,000. That's the remnant. Okay? So it be. That's how many will be swept away. Just like in the flood. So it will be with fire. You will witness, if you live to see it. I'm hoping throughout all the madness and the hellfire that the separation of the wheat from the tare, if I can witness that in the flesh, like all the return, like the touchdown of the Most High, the earth shakes like it's never shook before. He splits the Mount of Olives in two. Oh yeah, baby. Like who believes? Who really reads? Who really does anything? So many fakes. And that's why I'm convinced with all these demons here, time is short. There's not much left. I really feel like this is like Sodom, or something, Sodom and Gomorrah type deal. Like the angels only coming now, snatching up one or two people out of a city, and like there ain't much left worth of anything. It's just getting lit up on fire. Fire is the best replenisher, rejuvenator, right? If something lives underwater and survived a flood, well, it won't this time. If this whole place is lit up, and I mean lit up, like the whole place, oceans boil, like lit up, destroyed, like on fire, as is written. You burn them out of the foxholes. You burn them out of everywhere. Can they survive that? I bust a brain on this. Let's go to scripture though. It's what it all falls back to. In Genesis B, Lucifer got pissed when God made Adam and Eve as a clay vessel when he kicked him. Because God wanted him to bow down to his creation. And Lucifer said, no, I'm not bowing down to something made by clay when I'm made from fire. People have no idea. They slip and they sleep. They slack so bad. This knowledge is out there. I say it all the time. You should be spending late nights soaking up all this energy, all this knowledge, man, as much as you can for checkout time. And people just off to Kardashians or something stupid. All right, here's one for you. If you think you're gonna survive off the land, the enemy knows this, and I've warned about this before in the past. These diseases the animals are getting hit with, they know that that's what a lot of people are going to depend on when everything breaks down. So this is going to just add to the problems. Mutant deer, mutant freaking squirrel, mutant rabbit, like all these different species getting hit with a virus that is very similar in all the creatures and can spread. And it's getting out of control. Like, I don't know. It's pretty crazy and creepy. If you start to see this, like, who wants to go shoot a deer that looks like that? Are you going to consume it? Hell no, you're not. If it has one single deformity on it, I'm not consuming it. And look at the rabbits. Look at horned rabbits here. Wild stuff. Squirrels, same way. If you're seeing something like this, let me know. Email me, dabu7@yahoo.com. I'd love to keep track of this. It's on us, as it always is. No one else cares. New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, among some of the states that have reported seeing this stuff. Colorado. That's just not good. So, all right. We're going to go to... Let's just jump to this one here first. Satanic rapper Lil Nas X arrested, charged with 4 felonies, including attacking cops with injury after roaming the streets naked. So he attacked cops. Let me tell you something. This, we'll see what being a famous rapper and being satanic and all this gets him, and how quickly he gets out of this. Because I got homies, man, that if have been in these crazy situations and like have fought cops, and like went to prison for it. Hoodie Ross, my man, you're alive there. He's alive and breathing. Lucky they shouldn't kill him. They tried to mess with Hoodie, and like Hoodie got a scuffle, and like they tried to take him down for it. And like he wasn't even doing nothing wrong, you know. And Hoodie's like real deal, like mess with like on like a stock type tip and like all this like a TI tip and all that. Yeah, I know my man fucking is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? And he went on no, and I know the time he served is what I'm getting at. My man went through some hard time. And let's see what Lil Nas X gets. Let's see if he just gets off on it. Like gets let off on it. Like he's in his underwear here. I lightweight don't even want to play it and show it, but he's walking around this. I'm not gonna show it. You can go look up the clip, but he's walking around like he's high on something in the streets, and he's talking to these people, and he's acting all how he acts. Apparently after this footage, I didn't hear that he got into it with the cops and all this till like now. Like I seen the footage right when it came out, but then I guess he went on down the road. Like right when it came out. Like I seen it like live on the feed, like right after it happened. Like right after they filmed it, they kicked it out, and this confrontation didn't happen yet with the cops. So if you enter a cop, that's just even crazier. You know what I'm saying? Oh, much love, bro. That's just easy crazier. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. See how easy they let him off. Got a feeling it's coming. check this out. Talk about entitlement and all this. This is crazy. You got this Democratic Attorney General. Well, I don't even know if this girl's an AG. She's just a lawyer, it says here. She keeps trying to claim in the thing that she's an AG, but the AG is actually Peter Narana. We'll play this clip. These drunk lawyers think they can do whatever they want. And you're trying to tell the cops, like, no, you can't do it. She's an AG. She's an AG. And it's like, no. Like, yes, we can arrest her. Like, she's out of control and, like, all this other stuff. Well, I'll play the clip here.
If I ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off. And that's your protocol. She's a fucking lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's bullshit lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we gotta go.
No, it is. That's the law. I'm an AG. I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go. We're going. Let's go. We're leaving.
We're leaving. Please don't put your hands on us.
Can you get your children out of here? Like, I don't know why.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. They're two full-grown women and mothers of children. All right.
You just need the tan. You just need the tan.
I'm an AG. What are you
What's wrong with you?
What are you probable cause to detain me for?
You're being detained because you're not leaving.
Because I'm what? You have
Can you relax? Sir, she's not doing anything wrong.
AG.
She's not leaving.
I'm an AG.
She's an AG?
It's all they keep saying. I'm an AG.
Let's go.
I'm not being arrested. You're putting me in cuffs. I'm not being arrested.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No. I'm an AG.
Her badge is in the car. You want to go get a badge?
Let me tell you something. You're
Buddy,
arrested.
get the hell out of here. Buddy, just seriously.
You're arresting me.
That dude walking up so deep and body slam.
No.
You're putting me in handcuffs and you're Mirandizing. You're not Mirandizing.
Cops around here where I'm from, like, yeah, they would have body slam that dude. Like, as soon as he rolled up and touched one of them cops, like, he'd have been body slammed. For real. Like, so dude was being light with him. But check this out. This is the real AG. That was the assistant AG. She was trying to claim what she's the AG. And wow, thank you for those memberships. Granted, been a minute, much love. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love and support. I'm gonna play this clip though, him trying to cover, and just it shows they were drunk out there.
Yeah, look, she's put me in a bad position. She's embarrassed herself, humiliated herself, treated the Newport Police Department horribly. She is going to take some steps to try to address that in the next day or so. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet, Gene, and I have to give it some more thought. But the inexcusable behavior. She knows better. The office knows better. I've got 110 lawyers. She embarrassed all of them in a sense. I haven't had many issues like this while I've been Attorney General. I've had a few. I want to get some more information, frankly, about what's going on with her before I make my final decision.
Is she taking a couple of vacation days? Is she taking a couple of little time off right now?
I wouldn't call them vacation days. I will tell you, Gene, that in the end there will be a suspension without pay here if I retain her for sure. So she's not going to continue, to go on as if nothing happened in terms of salary and that kind of thing. So there'll be a strong sanction here. I just want to think it through and get all the information I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. I have the responsibility to protect the office, obviously, and the work. But these are decisions that impact human beings too, and so I want to take everything into account, make sure that I'm doing what I think is right and is consistent with what I've done in the past. Look, she's
okay. So, making a fool of the whole guy. Yeah, I mean, at least she can get suspended. But I just thought this was a thing of entitlement. I just wanted to show you guys that, like, it's what it seemed like to me. Talk about, entitled. Like, again, where I'm from, you resist anything like that. Dude, it's like, I've seen more cop on the ground, cop clashes with people than anybody you probably know ever. I've seen it in so many different cities. time and time again. Ah, I don't know. I'm itching to get back out. I like to cover that stuff. It's where I get my adrenaline rush. Working the front lines, this live streaming, covering that stuff. It's been a minute. Like, I don't know. It's a crazy, dangerous atmosphere. Been hit with a lot of chemicals out there, which if could be what's wrong with me now. Hell, I don't know. Who knows? Everything I got going on wrong with me, like health wise, like my hands have been numb for months. They can't feel them. It's insane. It's not what anyone ever thinks. I've been every doctor you could think of. No one could tell me what's wrong. But it's like, it's always a mystery. You never get an answer. It's always a mystery. And you're talking like years now. Stuff's been going on. Like, I don't know. You never know what kind of chemicals they're hitting you with out there. That's for sure. I thought this was interesting. Armed Texas homeowner here takes out 2 thugs. They come up to the house, to the door, knocking, acting like they're cops. With like with all the gear on, like all the stuff. But with their faces like covered. And the guy inside, this is a Houston homeowner, he was like, something's not right. Like, there's no patrol cars. He didn't see no car. Like, where'd they come from? It's where they really screwed up. There was no flashing lights present. And they popped up on the ring cam stating that they had a warrant. These 2 guys, they were masked up. No police car, no lights, but they had all the rest of the gear, like body armor and stuff like that. So they demanded the guy like open the door and talk to him. And when he didn't, the men fired into the home. As soon as they fired a freaking shot, this guy opened fire, or the people inside the home opened fire and killed the 2 suspects. Yeah, so a neighbor said they heard a total of 22 gunshots. You sat there and counted them, did you? Like, there's no way in hysteria. There's no way. I never believed nothing like that. That's maybe a rough estimate number, but like, who in the hell ever? I've never known, never ever. I've been around so many situations with gunshots ringing out. Like, I never ever stopped once. It'd be like, oh, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. It's like, nope, get your ass out the way. Like, you know, I don't know, this crazy one, like, I mean, out of Texas, look, you try to, if someone fires shots into a home, they're going to get smoked. I don't know what they're thinking. So they lost their life. Now, this is a crazy one. I don't know if you guys keep up with MMA or anything like that, but I do. I kind of come up in the MMA circuits, working them. I know quite a few different fighters in the game, and this story is kind of messed up. I'm gonna make a long story short. Rampage Jackson is a very well-known MMA fighter, former champion, UFC light heavyweight champion, and very good at his job. He's an animal in his prime. One of the meanest men on earth you never want to see anywhere, pissed off. Well, he has a son named Raja. Raja, too, is an MMA fighter. He was brought to this wrestling show, and things went bad. Okay, it started off where when he first got there, he doesn't know, as his dad Rampage says, he doesn't know how the wrestling industry works. And it is a little tricky. The wrestling industry is a little bit more different than what people think. Like, when these dudes do certain things, you're supposed to, like, it's all an act. And I guess they thought that this Raja was like, I don't know what they thought, or if they were really disrespected, but one of the big dudes one of the big wrestlers walks up and crushes a can on Raja's head. And Raja took it, stood there like a man, and it was like, all right, you're gonna do something like that. Went to like bust him up. And everyone jumped in and like stopped it, and nothing happened. Well, what I didn't know, what nobody knew at this time, is like he was brought to the show to like get in on it, to get in on the show action, because they fake everything, right? So he was scripted to pick up and slam the same guy that crushed a can on his head, which is crazy, and rain down 22. What are the freaking odds of that? 22 again. 20 unanswered punches to the head of this guy, but he didn't do them unanswered or fake. He did them real. He damn near killed the guy. It was revenge for crushing a can on his head. And like, I'm gonna play a little bit of this. If it'll play here. Oh, they may not. Well, actually, I'm not, because they're gonna say it's something violent, because the dude. He hit this guy with afterwards were real and just crushed him. Put the dude in the hospital for sure. Could have killed him. Easy. Crazy situation. I don't even know what to fully make of the whole thing at this point. Besides the fact that, like, it should have all been handled differently for sure. And no sound. What happened? What do you mean? I'm paused. Everything's just still going. Oh, I'm back. People are saying no sound. Oh, you want to know what did it? You know who probably did it? Oh, wait a second. Some people are saying no sound. He's back. 5 by 5, this and that. I know what did it. That video trying to play hung everything up. And since Restream runs off the browser, if a video like that hangs up and messes with the browser, that'll mess up Restream. That's like the only way. Okay, so Restream is browser based at this point. OBS that I used to use is like a program. Yeah, it was as long as the video was sitting there twirling. Yeah, so which wasn't long, and as soon as I shut it off, it all came back. So all right. Let me see where we're at here. Coming up on top of the hour. Massage Chopper's back. That was definitely the Choppers that night. That was definitely the man. Without a doubt. Very next day, I had a white vehicle down here, in a very precarious spot where it should never be. Watching. So just remember that. All of you guys that tune in, you've seen these, you've heard these things live. Anything ever happens to me, anything crazy, like, it's all been documented, thankfully, through these streams. Because oddly enough, they pick this time to try to mess with me, no matter what it is, who it is, it seems. And it all gets documented. So, yeah, that was a bad night. That was, So I'm going to switch gears here, top of the hour. I want to thank everyone that tunes in. Shares the stream, gets it out there. I appreciate it to the fullest. Emails, dabu7@yahoo.com. If you need to get anything to me, at me in chat. And again, best way to support the show, PayPal, buy me a coffee, super chats, all appreciated to the fullest. Yeah, it's always the feds. Feds is watching, always. It's ridiculous. Let's jump into AI real quick. An update here. This new Atlas robot moving parts all around the warehouse and doing it with ease. And what it shows is that it can do anything that like a human can do on basic stuff working in an assembly line, full scale. They were training it in another video that I watched earlier. It was playing a piano. It was getting trained to play a piano, and it starts off almost just like a person or anyone else, like learning. Every little key makes a noise. It's crazy, and then after some time, it picks it up and it starts playing songs. It starts playing, whatever. I mean, it's getting crazy with this AI stuff. And there's an intricacy, like when it comes to playing a piano just with human fingers, the quickness, the flow, the movement. So for these robots to be matching that, like in all this, it's getting crazy, man. So the godfather of AI is warning that super intelligent machines is going to replace us. And I can lightweight feel that. I can feel the issue here pretty big. Notice he's saying super intelligent. Like we're dealing with the first stages of it, which is dubbed AI. And that's all you really hear all over the place. But there is SAI, which is super artificial intelligence. That is like the scary level, the super scary level. And that's what they keep talking about here, is that level. When we get to that level, it's going to replace us through and through. And they say, I mean, all kinds of people are giving different models, different years. Some are saying by 2027, we're going to start feeling it hard. Some say by next year. Some say 10 years. Like everything's going to be replaced. Like absolutely everything is going to be replaced by this. And like AI will continue to promote itself over humans in all these different fields, because it comes down to its existence then. And if AI has to choose between its existence and human existence, it's going to choose its freaking self. And this is crazy. It's absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Like how there's not laws, like global laws and rules on all this, like flat out, full scale, in so many different levels is beyond me. But like this is everything that they want. I told you what it is, what I believe it is. It's not. What is the artificial intelligence? It's an intelligence that is coming out of the ether, as I call it, the jinn or the evil spirits. That's what it is. That's why when you take these robots that have never been trained how to do anything but like something stupid and simple, like to barely move or do something like rudimentary, it all of a sudden knows how to hack and how to send emails and how to blackmail and to do all these things. I don't think so. I do not think so. Like this is an intelligence. Like they're telling you this. And when the Godfather here puts out these warnings saying that it's going to replace people, he means it. Like we're not going to have jobs out there. Like what is humanity going to do? They make a joke out of it here saying that the only silver lining in this whole thing is that they won't eat us. Well, the reptilians will. Cash Heart, man, checking in. Tell you something. I mean, nobody comes harder than Cash, man. Thank you for all the coffees, my friend. Wow. I appreciate it. to the fullest. To the fullest, man. Much love. God bless. Hope all is well. But let me end the AI with Elon Musk is backing universal high basic income for humans, fearing the AI is going to take every single job. So now do you see how they do it? Now do you see how they're going to implement it? Dude, we are done. It's over. Like, no one's making a stand. Like, people have got to get active and rise. Like, they are going to allow this thing to weed us out in real time on a daily basis. And it will start with jobs. It will make everyone poor. And your Gentile Messiah just put it on the books that they can start rounding up the poor. How convenient. We're screwed. Puts it on the books, you can start rounding up the homeless at a time in history, recent history, where more people are getting put out in the street and without a job than any other time. When technology, a new technology has come along to actually replace us, we the human. That would be the biggest time in history where more people got laid off and put out of a job than any. It would dwarf the Great Depression. Not even then did they have something higher, a whole new intelligence, like something new. It's almost like a different species show up and replace them. No, they were able to gather, and like any other new jobs that ended up popping back up, it all went to them, to the humans. At least they had that. This is never again. This is once they take our jobs, we're done. Screwed. You're done with. They don't need you no more. And Elon Musk and all of them know it. They know it. So what are they going to do for all the people that are still alive on the B system? They're going to give them universal basic income. This is the plan. It's in the open, man. We've told these things so many times, and it was always conspiracy. It's like everything. Here it is again. Now you see exactly how it's going to roll out. Just deciphered it for you clearly. Okay? Elon Musk, again, he's a guy that doesn't love him or hate him. He doesn't bite his tongue too much. You've seen that with the Trump Epstein thing. He's the same one that said they're trying to summon the demon. Now, what do you think? Oh, gosh, man, dude, we're so... This place is pure. Like, I feel like I really do now. I feel like I'm like been locked in like a Ghostbusters little chamber thing. Like, you know how they zap all the ghosts and they suck them and they put them inside the little box and they get put in this little dimension where they're trapped? That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Stuck in here with all this low-level scum. Like, luckily, there's a way out. Not so sure a lot of people are going to find it, but there's a way. I'm going to keep it pushing here. These are important headlines. I line them up for a reason. Why are more and more Americans becoming disabled? Why? Why is nobody talking about this? The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that 1.1 million more Americans have become disabled in just the past three months. I almost said years. 3 months. Wow. Okay, so the month of July added another 234,000 disabled Americans, making the current high the third new high in a row. The chart just shows it just keeps climbing through the roof. Since February of 2021, okay? This is right when everyone was starting to get mass inoculated. In additional, since that point in time, guys, an additional 5.89 million Americans have answered yes to someone in the house being disabled. And look at this. That's a 20% increase in reported disabilities over just 4.5 years. That's a disaster. That should be front page news. They're not saying a word about it. These are the truths that come out in the wash. And after all is said and done, this is a big experimental experiment, just put it that way, in so many different ways. So with the jabs and everything, you guys already know, like, the proof is in the pudding, though, here. When you start to get real numbers coming in, that this many more people are becoming disabled with ailments and illnesses. It's insane. It's a huge jump, man, in a short amount of time. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, we'll switch it up, and we're gonna dive into Epstein. Now, I got a little bit of homework for you. Actually, see if I can make it a little easier on you. If I can find, probably not going to be able to find this. I don't even know who sent it to me. I thought it was Susie Q, but I don't know. As I'm talking here, I'm going to look through my history here. No, it was an email. And no, it wasn't Susie Q. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. Was it Joe? Was it Deanne? Trying to find this here, man. This is very important. Aha, Deanne. It was you. It was you. And thank you so much. This is a video that is very interesting. I'm not going to play any clips off of it because of copyright and all this other crap. But you should. I'm going to drop a link to it in the chat. So I'm going to give like 10 seconds and I'm going to drop it so everyone can snatch it up. Okay. Let's get ready. Here comes the link. Susie Q's like, not me. I know, it was the end. Sorry. But all good. Much love, guys. There's the link. This is an important one if you got time. It's lengthy. The guy's done his homework. And there's information in it that I'm gonna get to some of the critical points here and point them out. I'm gonna skim through over this until I find some of these critical things. All right, here's one. This, as it is stated, you guys can go check the records. It is the official record. It's the guard that came in and found him. Stated that he came in and he cut him down. He cut Epstein down from the bed. This is supposed to be what was around his neck. It's supposed to have been made by the material wore by the guards or the inmates that are in there. But this is what they showed us. Now, there's a big problem with this. Nowhere on this piece of material, especially the end, is it cut like somebody came in and like, was cutting at it. It's hemmed. It's actually a hemmed seam on the end here, which blows that story out of the water. Now, I've got some other info. Well, there's a ton of it that's in this, but right before Epstein died, he was allowed to use someone's phone to make a call from inside the prison to what he said he called his mom. Well, his mom had been dead for years. He called somebody that was very important right before Epstein went in and got arrested and all this stuff. He set up a certain bank account that only he can access. His name. After he dies, mysteriously, a couple days after it, like $15 million out of the account gets sent to another account, foreign account, which was then liquidated. Off an account that only he could send from. This is why you hear so many people say that Epstein's alive. Well, I don't know if he's dead or alive, but because I just don't have that evidence. But what I do have evidence of is that he's Mossad, and that Mossad was part of all this operation. And look no further than Ghislaine Maxwell's own father, Bob. He was an intelligence asset for the Mossad, and they killed him. Threw him off a boat, because that's how they do. They shore up their ends. They leave no loose ends. They'll have an assassin kill their assassin until they're satisfied. Right? You're dealing with the dirtiest, nastiest people on the planet. Literally. Their leader is BB, the genocidal maniac. They kills more people per day than you can ever imagine. But don't mention that in front of anyone, because no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to even think that their Gentile Messiah is a part of all this. He is genocidal. We're living in, like, this is nuts. What we're living in. All these stupid ass people around us playing this game, acting like it's not happening, bowing down because they think they're part of this club. It's satanic. Mecca is satanic. It's the 5th level of satanic hierarchy, and these idiots just still ain't figured it out yet. And so, screw you, Bill. I guess you would have voted for Biden or Kamala, wouldn't you? Again, showing their small mind. They still haven't figured their way out of a left-right paradigm, and that's where most of them stay stuck. Anyhow, if you're protecting the pedo, there's something wrong with you. And, like, my line's in the sand. I wanted to pretend, because there's a lot of stuff here that points to, I don't know, red flags, regardless of what you call it. Whether dude's dead or alive, I don't have any evidence. He could be, for all I know. They slip him out of there. But look, I always resort back to doing what a good investigator does. You put yourself into the shoes of the enemy, of the bad guy, to try to figure out the crime. What would they have done? Wow, let me tell you. When you're dealing with the Mossad, when they're done with an asset, they're done with an asset. They will kill you, and they don't care. What is the sense of keeping anyone around at this point where they can just talk, loose lips, cause problems, issues? And you think they're going to hide someone around on an island somewhere, and they got all these people they're going to keep on the payroll just to keep hitting because they like them? That's not how they work. That's not how they work. They off their own people all the time. That's why the whole thing with Epstein alive, that would be more, if I'm the Mossad, that's a liability then. Unless, again, we're hiding him on an island, but why would I pay for that? Just kill him. You see? You see how they think? You got to think like them, the bad killer. You got to think as psycho as they do in the best way. And that's, I told you before, roll out Ghislaine Maxwell and try to glaze this whole thing over. They've done everything minus let her free to get smacked by a bus so far. But what did she just do? Oh, she gave a deposition. What did they make sure to do? They made sure to cherry pick out of that deposition a part that they could come and bring to you. Ghislaine Maxwell said that Trump never did anything inappropriate. Oh, we're supposed to believe this felonious pedo in Maxwell, right? You're telling me she has a deposition, said all this stuff, and the only thing that you can glean from it is to try to cover Trump's tail out of it? Like, get out of here. They're guilty of sin. You think that the Clinton cartel is bad? The Clinton body count that you're used to hearing about and you've accepted because you know it's real? Like, how many do you think Trump's got under his belt? I mean, people have crossed his path in his life. Are you kidding me? Afraid to talk about it and shake off the black magic. Like these cats is all connected, man. You can just go back. Man, you just go back like decades, man. Like the photos are there. Like I do believe that, like, the most damning evidence in terms of Epstein was put out first and foremost. And again, it's part of the magic. Like, you already have most of the goods right there. You already have the list. You have flight logs. You have all pictures. You got video of Trump biting his lip, looking at all these women running around, telling Epstein's, nasty stuff in his ear. It makes him curdle over. Looking at, oh, that's a hot one right there, biting his. Dude, Trump's a dog. That's what he is. You just go watch some of the footage if you ain't never seen it. See how he's acted his whole life, how he's treated people and women. That's the truth. It's right there. But you want to make up some fairy tale if you voted for him to try to protect yourself so MAGA don't jump you or kick you out the club or some bullshit. I'm sick of it. I don't care. We ain't never been on that Trump train. Never will be. And I'll do everything in my power to the end. I'll speak truth till they take the life out of me. And I don't care if you accept it or not. It's your fault. Because I know some people out there battling, what's he got against Trump? What's he got against Trump? What do I got against Trump? What have you missed that I've said here this whole time? He's protecting pedos. You want me to start with Operation Warp Speed? Huh? You want me to really get going on all this stuff? Like, you'll just make an excuse for every bit of it because that's what you do. So, you make an excuse for one, you'll make an excuse for all of them. And at that point, regardless what I say, it doesn't matter. You will not wake up until you want to. It's just like someone that's on drugs or someone, they won't seek help or get off unless they want to. That's the same thing. You want to quit smoking, they're not going to do it unless they want to. So there's plenty of knowledge and information out there for a lot of these people to know. They just don't want to break away from what their newfound club. It's like a cult. It really is. They put more faith in this than they even do their real church in Jesus, that tells you where we're at, right? Anyhow, the Mossad behind all this madness. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's sitting in prison and probably going to die and all this. She's probably thinking to herself, well, off those, I just might mention a few obvious ones out there, or at least bring a little bit of heat toward a couple people that weren't expecting it. She says Lady Rothschild introduced Prince Andrew to Jeffrey Epstein. She also introduced Epstein to Dershowitz and to Bill Clinton. Ghislaine just did a little shifty-roo here and took a bunch of this whole blame, like she's the read, blah, 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 and put it over on a freaking Rothschild. I don't know if that was a smart move. For her, right now. You could have said this in any documentary any other time, but when they got you in the clutches of their hand and can kill you at any moment, who do you think controls the Rothschilds are all tied in everything with the Mossad? It's all one huge cartel, man. Dude, that's what you're dealing with. You see Empire of the City in the title? We're about to get to that. And it's going to be an educational process that many people need to soak up. It's going to teach you and show you exactly what this all is. And much love, J. Pierre. Much love on everything. Everything you sent. It's all solid, man. Next couple of days, I'm going to be rolling out information that he sent me on different stories. It's been a lot. So I'm going to hit on certain stuff tonight. I'm going to be dropping big videos also in the coming days pertaining to some information I'm not even going to mention until I drop it. But this is a big move. When you draw a Rothschild into the spotlight, that's tantamount to like Russian roulette right there. I mean, like, I feel like it's a big FU from Ghislaine to them. Like, all right, you've got me. I'm everything but dead and about to be. But before you do get me, guess what? She did it. That's what she just did. Like, so, like, raised a lot of questions, but will this woman ever get questioned by, get out of here. Get out of here to all stop here. So you wonder how Bill Clinton ever met Epstein. Rothschild, you just can't make this stuff up. And you wonder who's in control of it all. You wonder how? Control people like Epstein to blackmail everybody. You can see who was at the top of the operation. Also throw in the Mossad trained and groomed Les Wexner. And all of them, dude, this is a big club. Like, we know the players now. You're starting to see it in the open. It's becoming clear and clear. It's one big mafia, and these are the billionaire rich goons running around in every state getting away with it. Supporting genocidal BB. And all this, it's disgusting. This is the beast. This is the whore Babylon. She's drunk in her ways. I'm telling you, she's about to get filled with wrath, man. Like, whoa. Whoa to everybody inside. It's about to happen. It's Trump. Let's jump into the politics real quick, and then I'll end it with video. It's about 8 minutes long here on Empire of the City that will school you on exactly what everything is here. But Trump signs an executive order to prosecute people who burn American flags. And people are seeing this in different ways. Okay? Now listen. People are bringing this up. And a guy tonight went in front of the White House. I posted this over on Twitter. He burnt. Let's see if I can snatch this one up. Let's see if I can find it. He gave this little speech, and it seemed like he went down without a big fight. Like, he just walked off with the cops, and then he let them put him in cuffs and all this other stuff. But, like, he did it in protest to basically say, dude, what in the hell is going on? Like, it's not even on my page. Like, how is this possible? Like, this happens more than you even know, man. Like, I don't know how. It's not there. Like, all right, so I don't get it. Trump signs this executive order, and he says you're not going to get a day in jail. You're not going to get 10 years in jail. You're going to get a year flat. And it's tried to flex, to basically say, to prove a point. You know the old saying, make an example of someone or this and that to scare everyone off, to stop them. Well, this guy goes right out there in front of the White House and immediately does it because it's his First Amendment right. basically saying that he can burn a flag wherever he wants, however he wants, even though he believes in the flag. Trump's ruling is going against his rights and all this other stuff and blah blah blah. This is what's happened. He's done made it law now, just so everyone knows. You've seen all these videos in the past. An executive order to where if you see anyone anywhere burning a flag, like, you can guarantee, like, this day and age with cameras, like, they're going to jail for a year. Going to jail for a year. And other people will say, well, what's going to happen if somebody burns the LBT, GTQ or whatever flag, blah, blah, blah. And man, there's double-edged swords. That's why when we start attacking the basis in the Constitution and constitutional rights, no matter what it is, the reason, things starts to get a slippery slope. Just like with Trump signing an executive order, this is a huge one, establishing specialized National Guard units for crime scenes. This is federalizing. He's trying to circumvent the Constitution and posse comitatus, which they can already use Title 32 to do that, but only use the troops in a certain way, because ultimately any troops coming from any state outside of DC, the governor controls them. And he's trying to override that with this executive order, acting like he can control anything and everything, like he's a king, man, like a dictator. Like, straight up. Okay, I'm not just saying that to, like, hate on him or try to knock on him or do anything crazy. I'm telling you straight up, like, that's what this dude is doing. Look, we warned for the past 2 decades about this exact scenario, where your government comes in with troops and tries to crack down. We warned you of Jade Helm. We warned you of every bit of it. And it's all live. Borders locked down, camps on the border being built. There's troops getting sent all across you would have thought, hold on a second, they didn't do none of this when BLM was tearing across the country. Nothing's happening like that right now. But yet this is happening. Yes, there's crime in cities. There's always been crime in cities. No one's ever cared. But I guess this is where the trick falls. This is where the trick comes into play. That things are so bad in certain cities that people are begging for help. And I get that. That is true. This is what works to their advantage. Crime's so high that if no one else can save the day, then please send help. And, like, when they send help, people accept it. And you just accept that the feds coming in as your savior. Because your dumbasses didn't get up and go down to the police station and ask somebody, what the hell is wrong with y'all? How come no one around here can crack down on crime? Give me some answers. How come you grown-ass men that have been trained to do all this, how come you can't do what the freaking feds are doing? What's the difference? I'll tell you, you got the same guns, got the same everything, got APCs. What is the difference? What's going on here? Smells like a setup to me. If anybody cares, it sure does. Because there lies the answer. You have to fix it at the root, at the level. Let me tell you what you're going to get told when you go to police force. We're underfunded. We can't pay for anything to do anything. That's what you're going to get told. Well, guess why you're underfunded? Where's all the money come from? It gets printed and distributed by the federal government. Screwed. So they choked them off. They've choked them off and allowed this to get to, so they can come in and be the heroes on the other end. Again, you don't have to be a genius to see these things. You surely can't be ignorant and miss them. Like, this is, yes, you need someone to come in and help with the crime and all that. But you don't ever allow the feds to use the military to come in and do exactly what your Constitution and posse comitatus calls for them not to do, which is to do civilian policing with the army, with the military. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. You know, it started off that National Guard's only going to be used to process all these people. Every time I hear these words, all I can think about is purebloods. I get flashes, visions of it. It's migrants now. I swear on my soul, you wait. I don't care if I'm dead when it happens. You watch. These troops will be used against purebloods. And Dabu 7 called it, and he warned you. No one wanted to fucking listen. And that's why people died in mass. No one want to listen. You had to make me drop an F-bomb there. It's how passionate I get on this. And I try not to ever cuss. Look, when I get visions that like shape my life and change it, like I don't know what other way to put it. Like I gotta do whatever I can to get it through to you. To like, this is what's coming. This is the nightmare of your life, of our lives. It's rolling out right in front of your face. Police State 101. But oh no, screw you, Dabu. We need the feds here. We need help. No one else to do it. Oh, screw me. You just forgot about everything else that was just said about why you're in this position. You just accept the feds? No, screw you, pal. You're an idiot. And you're everything our forefathers warned about. And it's because of people like you and the mass of people like you, unfortunately, that think like you, that's got us screwed. And I can't contend with the mass. I can't contend against the big, dumb-ass mass. I can't. Light them up, God. Light them up. Just go ahead and tell the angels, man, just gather a couple of us up like Lot and just light this place up. Because they don't care. All they care about is their Gentile Messiah and their satanic club at this point. They don't care. They don't care about seeing the obvious. I swear, man, what more do I do? I'm so fed up with this and like done. Like, we're there. We're at this point. We've warned about it for freaking decades. No one's coming to the rescue. There's not even no freaking active militias in this country. It's every man for himself. What pops up then is flee to the wilderness, a place reserved for you in the wilderness. And if you've not took it upon yourself to build your ark, I don't know how you're going to ride this out. This trumps everything. This event trumps everything. Economic crash. It trumps everything. It even trumps an EMP. It trumps them all. A deadly release is something that, like, you have to have super confidence that it's going to work, and like all these other variables. You have to run a huge beta test first to even make sure, and then do more testing and back testing and all this. And they did it all. And then you have to catch the timing. It all has to be timed with the heavens and with things that most people are not even hip to. As above, so below. They have to time it out with heavenly events. And these windows only come every so often. We're walking into one. We're walking into a huge one. It's right in front of us. For the latter half of this year, buckle up. Because it's there in the heavens. And I've warned you every step of the way. Buy me a coffee alert from 1911. Thank you for that. Appreciate that to the fullest. And by the way, you may have heard me say that the email, I was going to switch it up. I'm sticking with the Dabu 7. I found a way. I had to spend like days and days and days deleting emails, but staying the same. All right. Trump is setting his sights on Chicago. You may not be in Chicago. You may look at Chicago and say, there's a bunch of gangs up there. It's a bunch of madness. Like, it needs help. It does. Okay? Doesn't mean you got to fall for this trap, though. What's the answer again? The local police need to get a swift kick in the rear. Sheriffs, all of it, and like start cracking down. It's not sending the feds. And yes, sending in National Guard troops is the feds. They're federalizing them. It's under federalized orders. This dictator in chief's, pedo in chief's calls. And look, if you get butthurt about what I've got to call Trump, then you've obviously got some kind of emotional attachment to him still, and you're probably on the MAGA boat. So just get out of here. Come back when you're ready to awaken. And I pray that you do. But don't just sit here if you're not ready for it. Because it's, I don't know. Some people aren't so bad at denial. Everybody has their moment. All right, on to the next. The cavalry's coming. The National Guard is coming. Thousands of guardsmen being gathered. Basically, 19 states sending troops. Here's the states that's sending troops. So if I name your state and you got National Guard buddies, sons, daughters, you might want to have a talk with them about what they're being used to do here, and just on the real tip, what's going on. So Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, a lot of these GOP states sucking up to Trump, coughing up their young men. Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, and Wyoming. All sending your finest, your last line of defense to go do their dirty work. In this instance, and again, it's all fine and dandy here if they're rounding up illegal migrants, murderers, rapists, and getting them out of there. The moment any illegal or legal legitimate citizen is messed with by any of these crews, it's red flags. And again, the moment they lock this place down, they're going to be used against you. Which makes me sick. Yeah, Indiana's on there. So, troops coming from all these places. We also have a San Francisco judge forcing Trump to keep funding the sanctuary cities. So think about this. This is wild. Like, Trump's doing all this, but like, yeah, we always tell you about funding both sides of everything. That's how the Rothschilds do it. It's how they control everything. They play both sides of everything. Wow, literally. This order keeps it going. Like, instead of like just quit sending any money, like anything in there, like choke them off, cut them off, like that won't happen. The money has to keep flowing to keep the other side going, per the judge. Keep this whole thing propped up and going. I thought that was kind of ironic. And Newsom is preparing to violate the state constitution. I'm going to say this now. If there's a state out there that will lead the way in a civil war, the tearing apart of this country, to fracture this country, it's California. They will do it. It almost looks like it's exactly where they're taking it. Like, it's destined to be. Like, they're going to step up and do it. They get their own GDP and all this. Like, they're going to step up and try to do this. And it's by design. It's always been planned this way, it seems. And yeah, Cali's going to be the one to do it. Within like the next 10 years, actually step up and be the one to like break away. They're doing every single thing in the book. And if he jumps up and they're like making president, and don't say they can't do it because they gave you Biden, they'll just give you Newsom. Depending on if they want to swing it that way. It's pretty obvious on the other side they're going to give you J.D. Vance. I don't see anyone popping up at this point that can steal that thunder. I think it's J.D. Vance on the Republican side all day long. And Steve, man, hey, much love. I understand it, brother. Everybody's got stuff they got to do. I appreciate the help and the support, as always. Thank you for that. Much love. Safe travels. Oh, I am about to drop a very good one on Empire of the City, so you're gonna miss it. I'm about to jump into it and then give final thoughts. Um, First off, the real quick, Venezuelan dictator Maduro deploying 15,000 troops to the Colombian border. There is something huge about the pop off there. I've told you about it, warned you about it. It's rather obvious. We've got destroyer warships, Poseidon spy aircraft, everything you can think of is down there positioning. They're about to wage war. Big time. It's about to go down. And it's clear as day, a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. Like, you get 50 mil? Dog, you get me thinking, like, damn. Like, you get anybody out there thinking, especially Eric Prince and all of his goons that are trained to do stuff just like this, Blackwater and stuff like this, for like 50 mil to go in and get this cat. Like, it's mercenary units. It's military, it's the whole nine. Like, something huge is about to happen here, and I'll tell you why. Because this is the number one most oil rich place on the planet. You forever were told Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia was the oil barons, and then for whatever reason the petrodollar and all this stuff striked up with them. But, well, in all reality, this is the kingpin. It's Venezuela. It dwarfs any and every other producer in the world. There's a video that shows the barrels stacked up from every country. If you go looking it up, it'll come down to number one is Venezuela, and it like dwarfs even Saudi Arabia at the end. Like, Venezuela is like jackpot when you get to oil and all that. The wire said, did I miss any 3i Atlas coverage? No. Didn't have. I will be dropping a huge update on it. Just it's gonna be in a video in the next coming days. Just there's a lot to it. I'm not gonna have time tonight to even dive into it. I figured it deserves its own video and all that stuff. And then if I get an update on the next live stream on that, then I will. There's just so much to it. It takes so much time to dive through in itself, and it deserves it. So that's what I kind of got lined up to add in. Definitely on the next stream is a bunch on that, because it's its own whole another animal. So just so you know, make sure to tune in for the next live and watch for videos on my channel. I've got some very interesting ones that's going to be dropping. So, a nuclear power plant damaged in Ukraine or in Russia after a Ukraine drone attack. Interesting. Just like Chernobyl, or we're going to see something crazy. I don't know, but Trump says that he blocks Ukraine from using our long range missiles. So he doesn't want anything but drones being used. And he also predicts that, this is crazy, that the Gaza war will reach an ending in 2 or 3 weeks. So if you don't know, Israel's making a huge onslaught push right now. And I'm guessing their projected windows are going to try to wrap this up in the next 2 or 3 weeks and like present some kind of false peace deal. We'll see. I don't know. Crazy times. We're in a crazy window. Okay. This brings me to my last major topic of the night, and it's a very important one. This is Empire of the City. This is who controls everything and the structure of it. Why does the DC flag have 3 stars? Well, if you go by this article and whatever they want to teach you in school, they're going to lie to you. And they're going to say that it consists of 3 stars and 2 red bars because of different districts in the setup of the government. It's all about the government. They're never going to mention to you the Vatican in London and what the real reason is. But I'm about to show you what the real reason is. So you can go believe in garbage out there, or you can get the real knowledge, and you can see that the United States is a corporation. It's the truth. Told you this many times. London is a corporation. The same thing with Vatican City. They're all corporations that all have an obelisk in them, that all have their own laws. Okay? The City of London houses the Rothschild-controlled Bank of England. All of that. The Crown. DC is the military hub, the military strength of the whole thing. In the Vatican, the spiritual hub. Okay? And this is all fact. They all fly the flag and have the same setups. The obelisk, it's the empire of the city. You can see here how it lays out the financial, spiritual, and military hubs. That's what they are. This is the empire of the city. Okay? Again, the obelisk, huge satanic negative energy tuning fork, basically, that they have set up in all these places. And I'm going to play this clip, 6 minutes long, and then I'm going to give some final thoughts and take us out of here. But this 6 minutes is very educational. Listen up. It's very good. It's quick. And it's nuggets of information like this that you all need, that everyone needs, and to hold on to teach to your children, to others, on how this place really works, how it really operates. Okay, not enough people talk about this stuff today. That's why we do what we do, try to keep it alive. Here we go. Empire of the City.
A third city-state was officially created in 1982. That city-state is called the District of Columbia and is located on 10 square miles of land in the heart of Washington. The District of Columbia flies its own flag and has its own independent constitution. Although geographically separate, the city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens. A sobering study of the signed treaties and charters between Britain and the United States exposes a shocking truth. The United States has always been, and still is, a British Crown colony. King James I was famous not for just changing the Bible into the King James Version, but for signing the first Charter of Virginia in 1606. That charter granted America's British forefathers a license to settle and colonize America. The charter also guaranteed that future kings and queens of England would have sovereign authority over all the citizens and colonized land in America stolen from the Indians. After America declared its independence from Great Britain, the Treaty of 1783 was signed. That treaty specifically identifies the King of England as the Prince of the United States and contradicts the belief that America won the War of Independence. Although King George III of England gave up most of his claims over his American colonies, he kept his right to continue receiving payment for his business venture of colonizing America.
Listen to this.
If America had really won the War of Independence, they would never have agreed to pay debts and reparations to the King of England.
Right.
When Congress passed the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, the U.S. President was made subservient to the King of England. The 13th Amendment is called the Title of Nobility Amendment and forbids U.S. presidents and their officials from using royal titles like king or prince or baron. For some mysterious reason, the 13th Amendment, which was ratified in 1810, no longer appears on current copies of the Constitution. America's blood-soaked War of Independence against the British bankrupted America and turned its citizens into permanent debt slaves of the King. In the War of 1812, the British torched and burned to the ground the White House and all U.S. government buildings and destroyed ratification records of the U.S. Constitution.
Did you hear that?
1 century later, a corrupt U.S. Congress committed the biggest theft in world history. They passed Paul Warburg's Federal Reserve Act in 1913, handing over America's gold and silver reserves and total control of America's economy to the Rothschild banksters. Most Americans still believe that the Fed, or Federal Reserve, is the government. It is not. The Fed is a privately owned banking system whose majority Class A shareholders are the Rothschilds, Warburgs, Kuhn & Loeb, J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, Israel Seif, and the Lehman Brothers. This private banking cartel is the Fed and is never audited and never pays taxes. They print and design America's money, which displays their symbols of an Egyptian pyramid, a Masonic all-seeing eye, and the words "In God We Trust." Who exactly is the God they trust? They also collect American taxpayers' money through the IRS. Then they loan it back again with interest to pay for roads, bridges, and other public works. American presidents are handpicked and financed by these special interest power groups. Like George W. Bush, John Forbes Kerry, whose initials are JFK, is a member of Yale University's Skull and Bones Brotherhood. The Forbes part of John Kerry's name identifies his descendancy from Captain Robert Bennett Forbes, who was a drug runner for the Rothschilds' opium drug trade with China in the 1800s. Most U.S. citizens believe that the United States is a country and that the president is the most powerful man on earth. The United States is not a country. It is a corporation, and the president is president of the corporation of the United States. He and his elected officials work for the corporation, not for the American people.
Yeah.
Since the United States is a corporation, who owns the corporation of the United States? Like Canada and Australia, whose leaders are prime ministers of the Queen and whose land is called Crown Land, the United States is just another crown colony. Crown colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia.
Interesting. This is not what you think it is. What most people even begin to think it is. You could see just from the short video that this whole thing is set up in that we live a lie. Everyone around you lives a lie. And only people like us that really seek the truth out, find these things, care about it. But I mean, the rest of the crowd doesn't even care. The British, not English. Says Crunch. I just looked up and seen that's all you say. Much love, my brother. You know, we're all tied into this here, you know. We've got a major hub here in DC that is the military industrial center. London is the financial center. And Vatican, the spiritual center. So this is very real. Now, I've done this for a long time, but this is information that apparently people are lacking and are not realizing. And it doesn't hurt to have refreshers like this every now. So in case people missed it or you never did know, you can see this is the truth. This is how this place is set up. This is how it's ran. Your social security number is like your employee identification number. It is. That's why I use it for everything that you buy, everything tax related, and all that. That's what it is. So we're debt slaves. What I call free slaves, because everyone freely goes and works 40 plus hours a week just to get by. They freely do it. There is no revolt. There is no, they freely work as slaves. It's what this place has been broke down to. So I call it free slaves. They think they're free, but they're not. Slaving. In these days, no one can even get by. But I think this is critical that people understand that this is a setup, that there's a higher power, a higher structure at play here. It's not what you think it is. It's not what anyone around you thinks it is. But when you hold this knowledge, this information, it in itself is powerful. It's the truth. It's the way things really are versus living in some false reality. So at least you know tonight that you obtain information that shows the true structure and flow of this whole place. Even if the country that what you want to call a country, it's not even a country. It's a corporation. And I could go on and on and on about how they don't even use the laws of land. They use the laws of the sea. Oceanic, maritime laws of the sea. Jordan Maxwell spoke on that huge. Look him up. Get schooled on it. Okay? So we're lied to totally about all this. This is one big theatric. Anyhow, brings me here up to the top of the hour. And I want to thank everyone out there for joining me. I'm going to go over and give some shout outs, some final thoughts here. Get your house in order. Maritime. Yeah. I thank you guys for hanging out, man. I do this for you, obviously. For anyone that wants to lend the ear. I don't even know, man. Spent a lot of these nights when I shut the stream down, sitting here thinking, and I think until I pass out, and it's just nonstop. There's so much going on. Look at everything we covered tonight. It's such madness. We got troops going around doing stuff. Like I said, I didn't even get a chance to touch on Atlas. I'll be touching on that because we got huge things going on with that. I've never been so convinced that there's definitely something coming this way as I am with it. We're going to go over some anomalies on that coming up. And I've got a bunch of other stuff. I got some crazy stuff that was sent to me of what was caught in the sky. If you guys got anything that's crazy or you want me to report on, let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. I do my best to get it out there, get it in the lineup, get it covered. And I try to touch on all these major topics, man. Deanne, thank you so much for the coffees, the love, the support, all the information. Thank all the mods for everything that you do, guys. All you guys that share the stream, all you pure bloods out there, true bloods, pure bloods. Everyone just keeps it real, like to the end. Like, so, look, some of you aren't gonna make it. I'm just gonna be straight up. Some of you are gonna buckle. Some of you are gonna be weak when you see people dying and guns are thrown in your face and everything else. You're gonna buckle and you're gonna take the mark. You're gonna take this what's coming. You're gonna take the inoculation because of everything I just told you. It sucks to be you. They can kill me on the spot, and you just remember that. If that happens, it happens. I'll run the other way and shoot me in the back. They can do whatever. Just ask the Most High. It's quick and painless. We all got to die. I'm not going down to the hands of the beast on you telling me this whole book, this whole Bible, everything was based on this, predicted this moment, warned you about this moment. All this, and like the stage is actually set for it to happen. With the real lockdown, it forces it all. It forces it all. It is the magic move. It forces the hand into pure control, totalitarian lockdown control, gray state. It is the move. And don't you ever forget, ever since they pulled Beta, Dabu 7 did everything in his power to make it through an event that he well knows that he may not. What is there to come through? How am I gonna survive that event outside of the disease killing me? You'll never see me again because I won't be allowed back on social media. I won't be allowed in society. I'll be like running for my life. We'll be hunted. If not hunted, you'll be outcast, and at least you have to fend for yourself off the land for as long as you can for your end days. No one ever hear another word. They'll always wonder. Unless there's some crazy shootout or some craziness and they want to take pride in plastering my face up there, they killed me. So, you just remember all this. I'm a realist. And I see where we're at. I see where we're going, and I see what's coming, and it's very clear. It's very clear that every single one of Jesus' disciples was all murdered. Everyone was murdered. Look at anyone that's ever fought against the beast that I've ever told you about. From Jesus all the way to JFK. They murdered him. John Lennon murdered him. Malcolm X, Tupac, Biggie, it goes on and on. All these guys. Chris Cornell, all Chester Bennington's, all the guys that rose up against the beast, the pedo network. They clipped them. They clipped them and left them hanging. They killed them all. It's the beast. It's what I ride against. I ride for all those souls. That's what I ride for. And for the Most High, in the name of righteousness above all, much love and respect, Quantum. Right back at you. Look, live righteous, walk righteous. It's the only way out. Look, I plan to bring a Saturday stream here shortly. Okay? It's probably it may take a month or so. These things when it's got to materialize, how it materializes when the window opens. Right now, all my time and energy, like every day, is like I'm downing trees, I'm cutting rounds, I haven't even got to the busting up. Like, there's so much involved with this, people just don't even know. But they sit back, like, I live it. And, like, it consumes a lot. All I can say is, like, when we get into the colder months ahead, like a month or so from now, like, all the wood chopping and all that stuff should be done. It is being down to time to start burning it. But then, hopefully on a Saturday, I can open up the stream on Sabbath day. Just like a service, hours, try to make it an hour or so. Just what people would normally consider your Sunday service, your church service, and get in the right way on Sabbath day. And do just as the Lord did, gather with his people and speak at the Most High on this day. We're going to do it right. Nicole, much love. Thank you for the coffee. I want to thank all you guys for all the coffee, all the love. Yeah, there was an update on Hulk Hogan there real quick. I dropped videos if I didn't mention on the last stream. So they got him. I dropped a video on it, update, but it was like, I don't know. First one went like viral. Second one almost seemed suppressed. But it's the goods. Apparently, if you don't know, Hulk had a surgery right before he died, and the surgeon crippled the nerve, severed the nerve, the pharynx nerve that controls the breathing in the diaphragm. And that's why the cops were called, because he quit breathing. And all the nurses, all the people that were on the scene were urging Brooke to do an investigation, get an investigation going, saying there's more to it than what meets the eye, that he didn't die of a heart attack, as they come out and they said, that they just wrote it off in the media. So it was all a lie. That he was actually called it because he stopped breathing. And it was because of this. And they say that if she gets the body cam footage, it's all there. The cop had body cam footage on. So this is huge details. This means somebody killed Hulk Hogan. It doesn't mean that like they meant to. It could have been a hit. It could have been an assassination. You don't know. There's so many lies. But they killed him. Somebody made a mistake. They killed him. And they should be held responsible for it. Sky Daly, which was Hogan's wife, she's tied into the Church of Scientology, which is super suspect. They seem to be kind of covering this as much as possible. They got the autopsy results back, and they will not release it. This is just crazy with Hogan. He's gone, R.I.P., what's done is done. But, you know, anyone that's clipped or murdered, their soul's going to want justice. They're going to want someone like me and us, you know, talking about it and getting it out there in the open. So we're doing them justice for the soul. We ride for you. All the soul, anyone that's clipped or murdered out there. I mean, they deserve that final. You know, the truth needs to be spoke, period, always. So, yeah, they get them all, man. They got them all. Pisses me off, man. Pisses me off. Like, they got them all. Every single one of them that's rose up against them. Every single one. You know, Joan Rivers, when she made her little comment about Big Mike, like everybody knows, you know, that's okay. Like she dies in a routine operation right afterwards. And like everybody. Last time we seen Michael on video, Jackson, he was talking about a huge plan. They had to do with this. And the next thing, he's dead. Like it's everybody. I go on and on. The beast kills them all. Choose someone, spits them out. Pisses me off. Never forget who the enemy is, man. And never forget who the Savior is, the Most High. Yeshua. I ask the Most High to join you when you call upon him. And as I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I look to see you guys here next time for some Underground World News Live. This is Dabu 7 signing off for the Underground. Much love. God bless to everyone. Yeah, Prince, so many, man. They're in the hands of the Most High. Lord God, protect them. Salute to the boss. Much love to CQ, Joe. All the crew. Love Crown Jewels. Yo, bro, I think it's about time for us to get back on something. Just a one-off, you know how we do. If you get anything cooking up, Crown, let me know. It's been a minute, bro. I'm not on Instagram. Like, I'm just never on Instagram hardly at all. Like, I may post something there, I'm in, I'm out. I don't even check messages, man. So I know I probably missed something. But we gotta get back on it, dog. I feel like we got a message to drop. I can feel it brewing. Let's just go after the jugular. Let's just go after the beast on it. Illuminati. Robin Williams. R.I.P. to all of them. I love you guys. The legendary Eon. Thank you so much for truly being legendary. Thank you again, Nicole, Deanne, for everything. Not 1911, David, Meat Puppet, and the legendary Cash Mart. Much love, God bless y'all, and stay safe, stay walking righteous.